Okay, so welcome to the Dopamine Detox series. We are going to be talking about focusing and eliminating distractions and why it is so hard nowadays, especially in this generation with all those social medias and other things that distract us from what we really want to do and what we really should be doing. So if you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on that bell so you won't miss out future videos. Whenever we sit down to do something, there is a thought in our mind that there is always something better to do. You know what to do, but for some reason, you just cannot keep your hands off your phone from clicking TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Do you wonder why that keeps on happening to you? A good example of this would be how you know that you have homework to do, but still decide to watch Netflix. Every single day we are being forced to get the short-term gratification instead of focusing on the long-term gratification. This is why you can be on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and browsing the internet all day long without breaking down your focus. But how about when it comes to studying, working on starting a business, learning a stock market, exercising? Now that might be too hard for you, even though if you have to do it for 30 minutes. Even though you know that doing those things will bring you more benefits in the long term, you would still rather be on Netflix and be on your phone all day long. So you might be asking or wondering, how are some people so motivated to do all these things instead of just watching Netflix and being on their phone all day long? And is there a way for you to start doing these things that you should be doing rather than procrastinating and wasting time every single day? Well, I can answer that for you. It's something called the dopamine. And hang with me till the end because I'm about to go over how everything works and why you should probably try a dopamine detox. Have you ever watched personal development videos or plan and schedule to do something, but for some reason you just cannot do it? A good example of this would be how everyone is so pumped to get their new year started, exercising, waking up on time, eating clean food, to not procrastinate, but few days or weeks later, you will go back to how you used to be. And so many of us just think and hope that tomorrow will be different, next week will be different, next month will be different, or next year I promise I'll be the new me. But the biggest problem is that our actions still don't show anything we say. We still choose to play video games for hours rather than exercising, being on social media all day long rather than using that time for something productive and getting things done. Now I'm going to explain to you guys why our brain would rather choose short-term pleasure rather than long-term gratification. Okay, if you had an option to choose to eat pizza or a salad, 9 out of 10 people would go with the pizza because the pizza would give you more dopamine compared to the salad. We have this type of options every single day in our lives that we subconsciously make decisions on. For example, an option to sleep till 11 or an option to wake up early, an option to go to McDonald's and try their new 5 for 5 deal, and an option to eat home cooked meal, an option to watch Netflix or work on something you are passionate about. Our brain will always choose the easier one, the one that gives you more dopamine. So that is why our brain constantly look for ways to get more and more dopamine. And guess what? Our brain is so smart and knows that being on your phone, watching Netflix, eating junk food will give you instant dopamine rather than doing stuff like exercising, eating home cooked meals, working on something you are passionate about, or anything that does not give you instant dopamine. Your brain would rather go with the easier option to get instant dopamine because the other option will actually require you to take action. It requires your willpower, your focus, and you actually got to put in the energy to do it. Okay, a short-term pleasures include doing drugs, drinking alcohol, watching Netflix, eating delicious food, or any other activities that temporarily triggers the release of dopamine in our brain. And long-term pleasures require long-term investment, such as investing in your education, career, social skills, physical health, mental health, relationships, and etc. Do not wait until tomorrow. You are the only one that knows what you want out of life. It's not your parents, it's not your friends, it's not your boss. Only you know what you want out of life. Identify what that is and work to make that a reality. When you are bored, you rely on video games, social medias, YouTube videos, and things that temporarily trigger the release of dopamine in your brain. Even though you know that doing those activities won't be beneficial and is harmful, well, guess what? Your brain does not care about that and only wants more and more dopamine. A perfect example of this would be how an alcoholic who knows that drinking too much is not good for them, but guess what? All they want is to drink more and more. So when they do get high and drunk, it will give them the crazy amount of dopamine. That's why they want to keep drinking or keep taking those drugs. In today's world, our brain is used to having high levels of dopamine, and that is the main reason why we keep looking for ways to get more and more dopamine. That's why reading, studying, exercising, eating healthy food, or focusing on a specific task does not seem fun no more, because that does not give us dopamine that our brain is used to. That is why these activities that does not give you much dopamine won't be in your interests. Even though that you know that starting a business is something that you always wanted to do, but it does not give you dopamine right away, but rather requires you to take actions, requires your energy, and you got to put in the work to get there, which means that you will get dopamine, but in the long term. But you will not get the instant dopamine which your brain is used to. And that is why most people cannot start taking actions on things they want. Because losing weight, having an amazing body you are proud of, having a successful business, finding a partner, those things will only give you dopamine in the long term, which means that nowadays people have hard time getting motivated to do them because it does not seem fun and does not give them much dopamine like the other activities do, like playing games and being on social media. When you have high levels of dopamine, you don't enjoy doing things that will give you less dopamine because of the lifestyle you are used to. Let's put that to a test real quick here to see if you have a high levels of dopamine or not. Okay, would you rather be on your phone, on social medias for hours and hours, or spend 1 hour exercising? Would you rather eat delicious food that tends to be unhealthy from a fast food restaurant like McDonald's, or eat food which will not be as tasty but is healthier? Would you rather watch Netflix and TV shows or spend that time to learn something that you always wanted, like learning the stock market? Okay, if you choose the second option, that means you are lying to yourself because you know that you'll pick the first option if you had to. Or you have a low dopamine level lifestyle and you are willing to do things that will not give you dopamine right away, but you know that it will pay off in the long term. And if you pick the first option, that means you have a high dopamine level. And with that being said, let's recall to the main question we are here for. Is there a way to get out of being in a high level of dopamine? So the whole point of a dopamine detox, aka a dopamine fast, is to force yourself to be bored but then not rely on video games, social medias, or YouTube videos to get you out of it, but rather being productive and getting things done. You will be shocked to hear the crazy benefits you get from doing a dopamine detox, even for a day. In the next video of our dopamine detox series, I'll be talking about my experience doing a dopamine detox, how you can also do it, and the insane benefits you get from doing a dopamine detox. So please subscribe and turn on that bell icon so you get instant notification when I upload more videos in our dopamine detox series. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time, and again, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on that bell.